we'll give it just a minute or so, and let me get my stuff here to check everything. That's all good. And I have the kit, the paperwork that came with your kit.
Oh, okay.
I kept that. I don't know. You probably don't need it, but it's an instruction manual ultimately for building it. Oh, there we go. Let me check. Let's do that. All right. Well, here we are live. Hello, everyone. We're finishing up the S-style guitar. I don't want to get sued by Fender, so we'll call it an S-style guitar that my friend and client, new friend Jeff, built. And we'll give you all a good look at it. You've all seen it, but we're just doing the final touches on this thing. I let it sit over the weekend hanging here at the shop under normal string tension. We've loaded it with 9-gauge Ernie Ball slinkies, super slinkies, and today we're finishing her up. So I'm just gonna get going here. Jeff's been waiting for a while. It took me a little bit. I had some computer issues. Here's the instrument, and Jeff noticed this screw was a little loose, so we better tighten that down and get that pick guard sitting nice and flush. And with this, a little bit of heat on that would probably get that to sit flush. I wouldn't worry too much about it, but just because of the curvature of the guitar now. So we're gonna end up. Let's just. Sounds like it's in tune. The guitar hasn't been played at all since Friday. So let's see where we are with tuning. Wow, it's holding tune really nicely. And the temperature has changed dramatically.
Oh, the barometric pressure is really changed.
Yep. Humidity has changed. I mean, it shifted, all of the strings shifted about the exact same amount, and they're a little bit flat, which is kind of expected. I'm guessing we got a little bit of a bow in the neck at this point. I'm guessing that the neck may have, but we'll see if it's where I left it. Okay, I fret the guitar here where it meets the body, because this part can't bend, right? So I've got bend from here to there with the truss rod as you turn it. So usually fret it right there and check it out in the middle. And I feel like I could give it another little nudge, which it's a feeler gauge, obviously, and it is just right on the edge of feeling those strings. So let me to flatten, meaning I'm gonna flatten the fingerboard out a little bit. So I gotta tighten this one tiny little bit. We're gonna call that good. Teeny little moves. It's kind of what I expected. I mean, I didn't think it would like be totally whacked out of there. Now we're talking. So right here at the 6th fret is where the highest point is, and it's just touching that feeler gauge. So, and at the 7th fret it's touching even more. So, and that is a 12 thousandths of an inch. So there's 12 thousandths of an inch of relief in this, or underbow, as some people call it. So let's go ahead and get the back on this thing. Let's say hello to a few people. Rogue, hello. Steven, hello. What's happening, brother? Steven, I hope you're doing well. Rody, hello. All right, Rody, Steven, and Rogue, y'all are here. Get to work, brother. I didn't say that. Wait, I did say that. Okay, so we're gonna put the we are gonna put the final. Oh wait, before I put this on here, I want to make sure the tremolo bar, and I had adjusted tremolo bar, the vibrato bar, so that we could get a full 2 frets of bend in a note on this. And I got these picks, I think, from Music Lily when I ordered some parts. So I'm getting almost 3 frets. I can get a full 3 frets of pitch bend out of that. That's great. So you'd be able to get some crazy heavy metal bends out of this thing.
Go.
I think we're gonna call that a day. And one thing I like about just I'm gonna kind of explain for you guys watch. I'm gonna explain to Jeff why I set up a trim like this. I do this so that with the floating tremolo, I like to have them float so that you can pull up or push down on the bar. Because if you're playing and the guitar does go out of tune a little bit, often you can just tap the bar or pull up on it a little bit and it'll set that tuning right back without having to retune. So if you do notice that the guitar, you know, you're playing along and you use the bar a little bit or the whole thing goes a little bit flat, give your bar a little tug. Guys will lock their bar down to the body of the guitar to the point that it's just locked down flat to the top. That is not what Leo Fender designed. That is not what he designed. And name a more prolific guitar inventor, if you will. So I follow his lead, and that is to let this thing float. And it really does help with tuning stability if you are using your bar. And I don't know if anybody would disagree with me on that. Rody, I don't know how you feel about that, but I'd be curious if you let your bars float on your vibrato impregnated guitars. That's what I call them. Floyd Rose impregnated, whatever. So we've left this floating. Everything's good. I'm going to pull the bar off of the guitar and we're going to put the back on it for the first time ever. And there might be a little bit of a tweak here needed because, as you can see, I filed that down, took that down, but the screw heads are like a millimeter above the top of the back here. So I'm just going to see what happens when we put the screws on here hopefully for the final screws that go into this guitar. Cut this child-proof bag open. Yeah, Rody, you got yours set up to float. I'm curious what Steven feels about that. He builds guitars. Oh, that needs to go under the counter up there. I was just gonna get a price on that, but I'll take care of that out here in a bit. Thanks, Stu. Let's see if I can cut my finger or scratch the guitar. Yeah, this is gonna go on here just fine. Make sure all the holes line up. All right. Yeah, removed it, Rogue. Yeah, I love having a vibrato bar on my Strat. We're just going to run these screws in here, and not going to worry about any debris or anything in those holes. It'll help these screws stick a little better. And there we go. There's lacquer and polish and all sorts of stuff down in these screws, and we're not too concerned about that. That is where it will live the remainder of its years. I did set up the intonation. None of the adjustments that I've made on this guitar today will have any effect on that whatsoever. So the intonation is pretty close to perfect. Steven just commented on, and by the way guys, Jeff is here with me right now watching this final bit of work that we're doing on his guitar. And he's going to take this girl home today. And we are going to put it in his hands and let him strum around on it a little bit, see what he thinks. And I'll play it. I got to play it before I send it home. Right? I know, watching a guy turn screws on the internet is really fun, isn't it? Never use a power tool on a guitar, right? Yeah. Even though those screws were up a little bit, we'll check the tuning. You know, maybe this cover has pushed down on them a little bit, which may have altered the vibrato bar a little. That would the only thing I'm really concerned about in having encountered that on this instrument. Okay. And I was really bummed that the other day that the video gave up on me when I was playing it for the first time. Okay. I'm gonna get my fingerprints off the neck plate here. There we go. And we'll check the tuning one more time. See what's happened. Close enough for rock and roll, baby. Yeah. So, give it one more little spin before I send her home with Jeff, and we'll let Jeff play for a moment, play a couple chords. Are you all right with that?
Yeah, I can do it.
You can handle that?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool, cool. If you don't want to, man, just say the word. Let's see. Okay. I prefer my strap bridges to float. A lot of my customers don't ever use a whammy bar. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Hardly ever play my Strat. I understand, Rody. Yeah. Yeah, nice. Kingers, yeah. Hi, Kingers. Welcome. Tune-o-matic. Yeah, I love those things, too. I love my Strat, though. Having that little sexy little wow, wow, wow at the end of a song is really a beautiful thing. So we're plugged in. Our amp is on, and we're gonna see how this thing feels today. I'm gonna lift my camera up so y'all can see where I'm at here. My cameraman's doing pretty good today. I don't think he's not as drunk as he usually is. Let's see what happens. Bring that bar down. heard this thing. Am I
It
correct?
sounds real.
That's the first chord that was ever played right there on this instrument. Got whammy.
Sounds good.
So that's a loop I had going on Friday.
Oh, yeah.
Play something new today. Got a little edge on her. Let me see. Let's do something in A flat minor. How's that?
Okay.
Classic 60 cycle hum, although the electricity in this building is really dirty.
I really liked when you're using your vibrato there on the A string. That sounded really good. It sounded really full when you were going up the neck. That sounded good. I mean,
it's you know, this thing the guitar plays fantastically and it sounds like a Strat. You know, what would you expect? You know, and a lot of guys do almost everything they can to turn a Stratocaster into anything but a Strat with putting humbuckers in it and things like that. And that's great because, you know, they love the style and the shape of the guitars and all that. But this thing feels and plays fantastically. I love the 9-gauge strings on it. They are definitely, I think, the right gauge. And so let me have you, if you would.
Oh, just maybe just a quick little.
Okay. I'm just I don't have a long enough guitar cable here, so
I'll just
let me put you right here.
I'll just see what it feels like.
Yeah,
I don't think I can get down there to sit.
Okay. Okay.
Boop.
Looks like $98, 108 from the highest place I found.
Okay,
So
that's right.
okay.
On that K&K.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
So,
and I've got another one back here for Matt's guitar.
so what do you want me to put on it?
That's what that's what I was gonna do. I was gonna look at what we.
Mm-hmm.
So, let me.
Yeah, I would have looked the day they came, but Mike had done something with the
Right, I've got an email with that on it. I'll check and I will definitely report back.
All right.
All right, Kingers, thanks for stopping in. What do you think?
It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be really nice, I can tell.
Turn up the volume on that baby.
Well, I didn't know if
Just nice and clean.
it really is. I'm having a hard time there with the trim or the getting the. I don't know what I'm doing. Getting back now.
Yeah. There you go.
I'm gonna love this guitar, Marshall. This feels so good.
The new #1?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna love it. I can't wait to get home and get sat down. I have a hard time playing standing up.
Oh yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
You have a strap for this bad boy,
Yes.
or okay?
And I left my case at home in the
Oh,
car
of course.
because I had it in the car the other day. So
prepared.
I do have a
We'll send it home and we'll throw it in a gig bag for you, so it'll stay safe.
Well, I've already have a gig bag.
You got a gig bag with you? Okay.
Well, it's at home.
Oh.
With my wife. But.
Well, I think it's raining outside.
Yeah,
just
it is.
for that alone, I've got plenty of them. So let's do that. We'll bag it up. Just you can bring it back if you ever come back by, and if you ever do.
No, I will, Marshall.
When
I'll
you
be
do.
back.
Yep. Okay. So we are all done on this thing.
I think that your work there on the finishing was just really, because I really didn't know what to do at that point.
Yeah.
I'd over sanded and made mistakes, which.
Well,
Learning.
Yeah, with on a kit guitar, just a couple of things. I like what you've done with respect to shaping the body the way you have, kind of contoured edges versus just a straight, like a normal Strat, and I use normal loosely. But definitely, generally, all you want to do is knock all the fuzz off the outer limits of the wood. Which is why you go, start with 220 and knock all the rough stuff off, and just basically all you're doing at that point is making sure that no fur's sticking up when you start shooting finish on it. Right. Which is another thing you can do sanding on a guitar is put some water on it. I think we had talked about that while you were sanding. Sand a little bit, sand the whole thing down, and then get it wet, and that'll lift some of that fuzz and fur that the wood might still have in it, then knock that off of there, which is why you got to sand multiple times usually. And just clean her up. There we go. One thing I did notice, these controls are a little bit tight right now. They'll loosen up over time, so just turn the volume knob a lot.
Yeah. Well, my wife tells me to turn it down all the time. No, not really.
Right. I get it. Oh, well, I hope she enjoys getting to listen to you play this thing.
So.
Let me get this in a bag for you. So I realize you got a case and all that stuff, but just You don't want to get wet going out to the
Right.
car. Bars in the front pocket.
Okay.
On this. And there's nothing else in here.
That looks a lot like, I have a Chromecast at home.
Case.
Gig bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a gig bag. You have a hard case for this?
No, I don't.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not yet.
All right. I do recommend that.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
You ever take her anywhere? So, that is pretty much it for the setup on the Stratocaster. I really appreciate you guys hanging with me today, and I'll be back a little later on. I've got some more work to do on a Telly built in 1959. Yeah. See you in a bit. All right. Okay, so I don't like talking